Hey everybody, today we're going to talk about writing equations in point slope form. So given a point and a slope, can you write an equation of the line? So let's take a look at our warm-up. Go ahead and do questions 1, 2, and 3. Graph your linear equation. When you're done, check your work. Go ahead, hit pause, and I'll see you in a second. All right, so your line should look like this, remember. Y-intercept, slope, up 3. My y-intercept, my slope is 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. So your graphs should look like this. All right, so what we're going to do today is we're going to take a look at how to write an equation of a line without a graph. So if we're given a point and a slope, can we come up with an equation? So a linear equation written in the form of y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And remember, x1 and y1 are our points. The rest are part of our equation. Now, this is what we call point slope form because we'll need the slope and a point. Now, I want to know about the line that passes through a point, x1, y1, and has a slope of m. So what I'm doing is I'm going to replace a point with x1, y1 and replace the slope to get my equation. So if I take a look at this one more time, I have y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So this right here and this right here, you're going to see the term passes through an x and a y point, okay? And n is our fabulous slope. So how can we use this to write an equation of a line? So I'm going to use this form for a point. Look, there it is. Passes through this point and has this slope. So I'm going to write out my equation just to make sure I don't put any spots or any numbers in the wrong spots. This is x1, y1, and this is my m. I really do think it is super important to always label so that you know exactly what numbers you're using. So I've got my slope, my x, and my y value. So now let's replace. I have y minus 1 equals 2/3 times the quantity x minus -6. So be careful there. And remember, we're going to add the opposite there. So we end up here with x plus 6. So all I'm doing right now is rewriting the equation using point slope form. That's it. Now, eventually, we're going to take this and turn it into slope intercept form. But all I'm doing right now is just rewriting my equation. All right, here's what I'd like for you to do. On your own, 1, 2, and 3, all you're doing is rewriting your equation given these values. Go ahead and hit pause, check your work when you're done. All right, so the first one you should end up with y minus 2 equals -4 times the quantity x minus 1. Here we've got y minus 0 equals 1 times the quantity x minus 7. Be careful with this one, lots of negatives involved. So my final answer here is y plus 5 equals -3/4 times the quantity x plus 8. Now, what if we have 2 points? Well, first of all, I don't have a slope here, so I need to find slope. So I want to write this equation slope-intercept form that passes through both of these points. So I'm going to label this x1, y1, x2, y2. So remember, slope is the change in y over the change in x. So I have m equals -2 minus 4 over 5 minus 2. So add the opposite here, that's -6 over 3. So my slope here is -2. Now I'm going to use the slope m equals -2 at this point, because I've already deemed it x1 and y1, to write the equation of the line. So I have the formula y minus y1 equals m times the quantity x minus x1. So I have y minus 4 equals -2 times the quantity x minus 2. Now, notice it says write the equation of the line. Well, my famous saying is always do the math until there is no more math to do. Now, is there more math to do here? Yes, because I'm not quite finished because I need an equation of a line. So I have y minus 4. Now I'm going to distribute. -2 times x is -2x. -2 times -2 is 4. I'm just going to bring this up over here because I kind of ran out of room. Now I want to solve for y. So how do I do that? I'm going to add 4 to both sides to get y by itself. So y equals -2x plus 8. So here I have my equation of the line. Woo woo. How exciting is that? All right, let's go ahead and take an example, let's go ahead and take a look at a real life example. Now, I apologize. There was supposed to be a little graphic here. It didn't show up. I don't quite know what happened. But when we're parasailing, we are actually moving down at a rate of -10 feet per second. Now, that's going to come in real handy in just a moment. So I apologize for that picture being left off. All right, so let's take a look. So we finished parasailing after being pulled back to the boat. After 2 seconds, you are 25 feet above the boat. Write and graph an equation that represents your height y in feet above the boat after x seconds. So again, I apologize, this was left off. Not sure how I managed to do that, but accidents happen. Okay, so this here actually represents our slope. Remember, slope is rate of change. We're changing at a rate, so we're being pulled in at 10 feet per second. So we're being moved down 10 feet per second. And after 2 seconds, we are 25 feet above the ground. So we've got our slope, our x1, and our y1. So let's write our equation. I have y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So I have y minus 25 equals -10 times the quantity x minus 2. So let's see. Let me finish up the math here. So we have y minus 25. We're going to distribute. So -10x plus 20. We're going to add 25 to both sides. So y equals -10x plus 45. So this is our starting point here. So this right here is my equation. Now let's graph that. So let's see, I'm going to do 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. And then let's see, we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now remember that my height is y, so this has to be my height. And then x is seconds. That's all labeled right there. So x is seconds. All right, so I'm going to go ahead. I've got my y-intercept, and then I've got my slope. So let's see. I'm going to go, let's see, down 25 over 2. So I've got my line right about here. And then my question is, at what height were you parasailing? Well, that is your y-intercept right here. So we were parasailing, so this is our A. So B, we're parasailing at a height of 45 feet. Great job. All right, let's go ahead and do on your own 4, 5, 6, and 7. All right, let's take a look here. So for on your own, remember it says write in slope-intercept form. So you need to define slope, change in y over change in x. Replace your all right, everybody, let's see how you did. Now remember the direction said write in slope-intercept form, which means you needed to find the slope, then the point, and we're going to use the point-slope formula to end up with the slope-intercept form. So we found slope, change in y over change in x, replaced our coordinates, so I have y minus y1 equals -1 times the quantity x minus -2. When we did all of that work, we ended up with y equals -x minus 1. For 5, we ended up with y equals 4x plus 15. Now to get it to fit on the graph, I just changed the scale here. For 6, we ended up with y equals 1/2 x plus 10. Now, instead of going up 1 over 2, I went down 1 over 2 this direction. You notice I still have a positive slope. Now, last one here says, if using example 5, there's that fabulous picture I was talking about. You are 35 feet above the boat after 2 seconds. Write in graph to figure out the equation. So slope, point, using those to get a final equation of y equals -10x plus 55. Great job, everybody. Have a wonderful day.